We got a Discord now, so join. Welcome to the complete European tier list. Enjoy. Alright, so as you can see here, we have like every country in Europe, and we're just going to be ranking them S to F. Alright, first off is Albania, but first I'm going to say we rank these countries off strength, fun, and potential. The only reason I got fun in there is so not all Balkans are F tier. Albania is a relatively strong country for its region with about 2 million population and the standard 60,000 manpower. It's got some really weak countries around it, which gives it some good early game opportunities to expand. Only bad thing about it is it's got Italy to its left side. Overall, it's a pretty fun country to play as, but I honestly can't give it a high ranking, obviously. So for that, I'm probably going to throw them in D tier. Next up's Bosnia, and to be honest, Bosnia kind of just lives to die, but they're not quite F tier garbage. I mean, they're what Italy takes on the coastline, so they can get more money before they take France or Spain or something, but Bosnia sucks. It's not fun, it's just gonna die, so I'm throwing this bitch in E tier. And to be honest, the whole live to die thing, that absolutely suits Estonia. Screw you, Estonia, you're F tier. Next up's Finland, and to be honest, Finland's like that one uncle that stares at you at your family reunion. Only if that uncle was bound to die to the KGB. Like, to be honest, Finland never lives. It makes a few resources, and Russia extremely really wants those guys, so yeah, I can't really give Finland as good as a rating as I'd want to give him, you know, considering he's a northern country like Sweden and Norway, but you'll see later that they're a little bit higher up, so it's alright. I know I was really raw-dogging Finland there, but it's not the worst country, so we'll give him a confident C tier for now. Next up's Germany, and Germany's not known to be greatest things historically. Jokes aside, Germany honestly gets ganged up on faster than Atlanta Road, surrounded by 4 guys named Tyrone, and to be honest, it's either Germany takes over all of Europe and forms European Union, or he dies real quickly. But to be honest, it's really fun, a lot of population, really centralized, and it's peak gameplay if you can pick the country in time. I mean, do I even need to say anything? Ireland gives birth to a lot of redheads, so it's basically the shit mix shitterton country of all countries. Goes E tier, without saying. Not quite as shit as Bosnia, though. We hate Bosnia. It actually took quite a bit of debating for me to find out where I'm putting Italy. I was talking to some of my friends about it. Italy, honestly, it's a really good country. I don't feel like I should be putting it on the same pedestal as Germany, because obviously if Italy goes into a war against Germany, well, they can defend, but on paper they'd lose, because they're just not quite as good. So for that reason, I'm actually not putting Italy as an S tier, which a lot of you guys would think I do. You know, out of all the countries in the whole world, I'd say Italy deserves to exist the least. Anyways, the next 4 countries, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, and Luxembourg. I'd straight F tiers all across the board, let's be so honest, as to where I don't care where we throw them. But I'd say Luxembourg I'm gonna throw E tier though, because like, I don't know, the other guys, they live to die more than a stage 4 cancer patient. But, you know, I've seen Luxembourg aspire and live a few times. Romania could be a bit controversial.
Back where you fucking started, Wagey. Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
Despite being home to Andrew himself, Tate, Romania also is home to some amazing terrain and a really good population for its area. You know, if a Romania player has more than a few fucking brain cells, they can actually do a good job and form their formables, despite the fact that I've never seen that. Alright, so like I said, decent country gets decent placement, and if you don't like it, come fight me. My address is 60. Next up is Russia, okay. Mother Russia, I mean, what else is there to say? We don't really care about China. This is a European tier list. So, it goes without saying, Russia is literally number 1 out of all the countries in Europe. I mean, just come on. So now we give Russia its beautiful stance at the top of S tier. Austria alone has some really good terrain, and by itself it's actually a pretty decent country. It just kinda sucks that it's guaranteed to die to somebody. Realistically speaking, Austria is a pretty decent country, but for now, put it in D tier below Albania. Serbia's a pretty easy C tier. It's a alright country, pretty powerful in the Balkans if it's played right. This really goes without saying, I guess. Sweden's the next country I'm talking about, and Sweden's a northern European country. It's basically just like Finland. Only difference is it's not guaranteed to die. Sweden also has a really good formable, which increases resource output, that of being the Swedish Empire. Overall, it's a really good country, really hard to get invaded, and yeah. Like you heard, overall, Sweden's a really good country, so definitely deserves this place in B tier. Netherlands can also be quite fun. It's one of those live to die situations, though, so I think I can throw a C tier pretty confidently. Next up's UK, and besides being the country that makes fun of USA for having schools that look like Call of Duty, UK also has an extremely powerful potential to make a great navy. Much like Hitler during World War II, if they decide to bunker down and know what a ship or two does, then they honestly could become basically untouchable. They have a lot of population, they have a lot of access to some Nordic countries, and they have a formable that includes them. Overall, it makes it for an extremely good country. I feel like this will be agreed upon, but I'm going to put it better than Germany. Spain's another really powerful country in Western Europe. The only thing is it's a little cut off from the rest of Europe, but they make up for that with their Spanish Empire formable. If they take over the West world, they have this formable, which is extremely good. Early game, though, they're very high risk for France or Italy to just take them over and get the population boost. It's a pretty hard country to play as if other European players know what they're doing, but again, it can be extremely, extremely fun. Considering Spain's literally Italy and France's bitch, I'm just gonna throw it below Italy in A tier. Let's bang through a few real quick. This one really goes without saying. Ah, yes, Russia's bitch in real life. Belgium's just a Netherlands ripoff, except they have a pretty cool empire, so they're higher. An absolute shit country. Another absolute shit country. And more shit. Wow. Next on our list, we've got France. Besides being home to drunk accordion players, that's what France is known for, it's also known for having a city in Rouen that has 10 times the population it has in real life, Paris. Jokes aside, though, France is just a good country. It's really good. I mean, it's pretty 50-50 who wins against France and Germany. It's just good. Like I said, it's just good. So obviously it gets S tier. Greece sucks. Hungary sucks too, just not as much. Next up's Iceland, and Iceland, it's a country in Europe, somehow. I mean, it's basically just a mini Antarctica. I mean, as you can see, it's got amazing terrain. I mean, not for the attacker, but it's got amazing terrain to defend on. And to be honest, if you pick Iceland and just go nothing but defense, you're just a bitch. It's simple. You're a bitch. Really, the country's good, but it's not fun, and it's got, like, no potential. So we're throwing him C tier. Like all the countries on the top row here, we're pretty shit and F tier, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one I talked about, which is Poland. See, I really wanted to throw Poland in A tier, but to be honest, it's not fair to the countries like Italy and Spain. So due to that, combined with one of my friends very strongly disagreeing with him going in A tier, I am officially forced to throw Poland in B tier. Although I would like to point out, if the Poland player wins the war against Germany, they're officially a European powerhouse, which was basically my entire argument for A tier, because you kill Germany as a Poland player and you're almost untouchable, considering the fact that if you're killing Germany as a Poland player, you're already a really good player. So here Poland will sit at its throne of the very top of B tier. Next up, worth talking about that isn't just garbage is Switzerland. Honestly, there's not much bad to say about Switzerland. They don't have a great starting population, but they have enough manpower due to their extra conscription laws that it's really easy to defend against an invader. Like, I actually have a whole video on my channel about it. Like, it's so easy. I formed a Swedish empire. Well, Switzerland empire. Anyways, point being, it's a really, really easy country to play as. I have basically nothing to say that's bad about it. You put up a fight against Germany, France, Italy, Spain. I mean, I'd be ridiculous not to put it into, honestly, A tier. As mentioned, Switzerland's a really good country. And honestly, I'd love to put it in A tier. I was saying I should put it in A tier, but I could understand the argument for B tier. I personally think he should go in A tier, but I also might be a bit biased because how much I love the country. So I'm gonna throw top of B tier for now. But I'd argue that it could easily go A tier. I'll let you guys talk about that in the comments if you really want. The rest of these countries are pretty garbage, mid tiers. I'll just throw them in here, but yeah, you get the point. Alright, here's a final look at our standings for the complete European tier list. And if you really enjoyed this video, I think you'd enjoy one of these two videos as well. If you enjoyed this as well, you should very, very, very heavily, I suggest you subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, helps the motivation going. But yeah, that's really about it. See ya.